So here's a quick update about the controversy in Ukraine regarding the anti-corruption laws and some of the latest changes concerning those. I'm going to run through some misinterpretations by the usual suspects. I'm going to explain in simple terms what's actually happening, and if you wait till the end of this video, I will explain to you the great irony that nobody else is talking about, at least nobody else that I've noticed online yet. So, here goes. First up is Marjorie Taylor Greene, the representative from Georgia, who posted, "Mass protests have erupted in Kiev against Ukrainian President Zelensky because he is a dictator who refuses to sign a peace deal and end the war. Well done, Ukrainians. Remove him from office, and America must stop funding and supplying weapons." Okay, this is wrong on a number of levels. First of all, this is not why the Ukrainians are protesting. They're protesting about changes in anti-corruption laws, which I'll get to in a moment. Zelensky is not a dictator. He is the duly elected president of Ukraine. The Ukrainian constitution allows for the suspension of elections during times of a national emergency, such as being at war with Russia. Even Zelensky's political opponents agree that elections should not be held under these circumstances. It's also ironic that Russia began this war in 2014 with hybrid warfare, launched the massive invasion in 2022, is daily bombing Ukraine and targeting Ukrainian civilians, and has crushed all civil liberties and freedoms in eastern Ukraine, which is under Russian occupation. And somehow Zelensky is to be blamed for not wanting to bring an end to this war. Next up is Charlie Kirk, who said Ukrainians in Kiev are now protesting Volodymyr Zelensky after he personally limited anti-corruption investigations in Ukraine by executive order. This is closer to the truth than Marjorie Taylor Greene's post. However, Charlie Kirk does err in this. It was not by executive order, as if Zelensky on his own initiative decided to go ahead and do this. It was a bill passed by the Ukrainian Rada and signed into law by President Zelensky in a process very similar to the way bills are passed in the United States. So what is this controversy actually about? It involves two agencies in Ukraine which exist to investigate and to prosecute corruption. The first one is the National Anti-Corruption Bureau of Ukraine, NABU. The other one is the Special Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office, SAPO, or just plain SAP in Ukrainian. These two organizations work in tandem. NABU investigates incidents of corruption and prepares information and hands their findings on to SAPO, which is responsible for prosecuting instances of corruption in a court of law. These two agencies operate independently of the Ukrainian government, and many Ukrainians see this as a very, very important factor in ensuring that these organizations will be free of political influence and will be able to operate with a measure of integrity. The problem with the bill passed by the Rada and signed into law by Zelensky is that it takes these independent agencies and puts them under the authority of the president. And the reason so many Ukrainians are angry over this is because they see this as a formula absolutely ripe for corruption. But something happened. The Ukrainian people protested, and the Ukrainian government responded very, very quickly. This is a post by Maya Michaluk. I hope I pronounced that close to correctly. She posts regularly about Ukraine, and you can follow her on Facebook, and I highly recommend her. She quotes President Zelensky saying, "I respect the opinion of society. People said everything must be done according to the law. It was very important for me that we heard this clearly and responded accordingly, and we did." Now, Maya goes on to say the real heroes of this story are the Ukrainian people, those who despite exhaustion still find the energy, time, and courage to hold our leaders accountable. And this is the beauty of what happened in Ukraine. The government heard the voice of the people, and are already considering new legislation to preserve the independence of these two anti-corruption bodies. So what is the great irony that nobody else is talking about? It's simply this, that Ukrainians strenuously protested against a bill which took anti-corruption investigative agencies and put them under the authority of the president. Now here, in the United States, the agency most responsible for investigating and prosecuting political corruption is the FBI. And the head of the FBI, ever since 1973, has been appointed by the President of the United States and approved by the Senate. And the head of the FBI works for and answers to the President of the United States and may be removed at the sole discretion of the President of the United States. So maybe, if we were going to be serious about fighting corruption in our own country, we should take a page from the Ukrainian playbook.